Today I will be doing my moon journal through an expression of salt art. This is Ivy Davis, and let's begin.
Moon Journal. Today is Wednesday, July 6th, and it is 9:42 p.m. I am looking for the moon as I am on the road headed to Pittsburgh to catch a flight to Atlanta for my family reunion. I just got out of my second summer class and am interested to see what this moon journal will go over the next few weeks. I cannot see anything so far. This is an 8 hours road trip. Maybe if I take a nap he'll see it later. What time do moons even come out? I wonder if they even come out or if we just can't see it until nighttime. Thursday, July 7th. I am officially in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for my family reunion. I feel bad as this is my first semester in school and am missing the second day of classes. The time now is 10:41 p.m. I still can't see anything. I have a trip to NYL later this month. I forget the difference between either a waning or waxing crescent, so I guess it's good I can't see anything. That's so bad I don't remember anything from science in high school. I wonder if it's cheating if I look that up. Anyway, I guess you'll tune in tomorrow. Good night, Moon Journal. Today is Friday, July 8th. I almost forgot to record this entry until my little sister reminded me that I didn't do my moon thingy. It's funny when I tell people that this is a legitimate assignment, almost everyone's initial response is a chuckle like really. And I'm like, yeah, grad school is different than what I thought it would be. Another day of nothing in the sky. I wonder if it's my location. Can people in my class see anything tonight? I'm on a resort in countryside of Tennessee, so it's not like I can even move around to look for it. Well, until tomorrow, good night, Moon Journal. Today's Saturday, I can finally just a slither of the moon peeking from the right side. It is literally pencil thin. I have a feeling all of my moon entries are going to be from different states, cities, and points over the next few weeks. I wonder if that's a bad thing. Maybe not, since I will probably be the only one. It may be great to have a different perspective. I should call my dad since he lives in Ghana and ask him what he sees. I wonder if it is up at the same time. It's almost midnight. I've got to get in bed since I've got a long day tomorrow. Today I'm looking at the moon. It is July 10th, 10:02 p.m. It is a very strong glow around the moon. It is almost like a crescent shape. You can see about a third of the moon. I can also see a lot of the shadows and shapes on the innermost part of the crescent, in addition to which is very strange. It looks like a face that's kind of protruding from the side. It's just like three odd shapes forming a face-like figure on the outermost crescent on the right-hand side. I just got back home from my family reunion trip, which is a 4-hour drive from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and when I look at the moon right now I feel happy. I really reflect on this project and think if this is how I'm looking at the moon after leaving my family reunion and Fred had a wonderful time with people from all over the country, I look at the moon today in a different light and think you know it about my family and how they're doing, and if they've made it home safely, and are they looking out their windows if they're looking at the moon, and kind of thinking for even considering if anybody else is looking at the moon. So today I look at the moon and I think my idea behind the moon watching has kind of changed because I'm more reflective on my experiences from the weekend, which was very enjoyable. Dear Moon Journal, after looking at the moon, I got stung in the chest by unknown insect. It's very painful. I will go to the hospital because I think I'm okay. See you tomorrow, Moon. It is Monday, July 11th, and I am back on the road from Pittsburgh to Mass. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and for some reason I can see the moon clear as day in the sky. This is really weird. I'm trying to think back if I've ever seen the moon during the day before. Am I ignorant to think the moon only comes out at night? Well, I am going to get rest as I love falling asleep in cars, especially when George is driving. I'll check back later tonight to see if it is still up. Today is July 12th. I'm looking at the moon as I drive back to Worcester. Finally made it back to Mass. Actually saw the moon this afternoon as I was walking to the garage port, and it was actually seen in the broad daylight around was not for 4:30 this afternoon, but I'm looking at the moon today and it looks like it's about a half moon, and there seems to be like these rings, like he's in circular rings around the moon. So as I was saying, the moon seems to have like the very, very distinct circles, like kind of like a shadow but clear, like rings, like just ring, and I can see about 3 or 4 shades that are overlapping one another. But I'm driving, I'm just thinking, you know, what about the other half of the lawyers? What does that look like? You know, is it cold up there? Again, like I said, I am observing the moon from the windshield of my car right now, and actually seems as if I'm driving closer to it. I'm not sure which direction Worcester is from Boston. I guess he'll be considered southwest, but the moon seems to be growing in size like this, and also you can see the craters and crevices of the moon, but mostly only half of the movie showing in the color is this whitish yellowish, the blue, the rings around it and a yellowish tint. As I'm driving towards Worcester, the rings are also becoming less defined. It is also shifting from being more in front of me to more above me, so that's also an interesting observation. Not too many stars out tonight. I can't really see them all. Actually, I can't see them. I wasn't leaning forward enough. Okay, journal, that's it for tonight. Interestingly enough, I looked down to set my alarm clock so that I can be reminded to watch them on every night around 9 or 10 o'clock, and before I know it, as I look up, the moon is actually shifting. I don't know real more scientifically. I guess the road is probably shifting, but it's interesting because I'm watching it kind of shift and move based on the winding of the road from my left to my right side, and it is just interesting comparison because the positions were just so extreme. Today is July 13th. I cannot see the moon from my window. I also tried walking to the balcony to see if I could see it. I'm currently located in Worcester, Mass. I cannot see the moon from there either at this point. It is 12:42 a.m. I am going to do a round drive with my boyfriend to see if we can locate the moon, so we will be like moon hunters this evening. It looks like we've located the moon. No need to get in our car. We can see it from the parking lot. Looks like it is on the eastern side of the apartments, and it is more than a quarter. Just over half of the moon is showing. It was covered by the clouds just briefly. It really looks pretty big. Actually looks almost like tangible, and it's in its reach. As the cloud is moving, you can definitely see more of the moon. It almost looks like 3/4 of the moon is there, and it is a yellowish kind of whitish yellow. Is to hit. We look at it for a while. Actually, the eyes start to get like this blurry. You see that, like it is kind of blurry, but there is specks of gray on the inside. I guess this will be the shadows of the craters. It's very beautiful exit, and you can see that it's cut in an angle, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't look like it's a straight 3/4, but it's almost like the angle of the outermost part of the white dot. Okay, so as we were all close to what we think is the direction of the moon, and we tried to take a picture, it's like you keep getting this kind of flaming circle, which is not the actual super glue, just looks like a burst of lights, which is really weird, which makes me wonder why can't we photograph of the moon with our phones. Like all the pictures are coming extremely blurry and making the moon appear like a flaming circular light dot. So it seems that we've hopped in a car and now we're turning down every which the street so that we can get a closer look at the moon. But it seems like as we drive closer to me, it's sinking into the horizon, which is really interesting. That further away, it seems like it's higher in the sky as a draft horse sail. What we think is towards it, and it seems to be getting towards the horizon. I've been distant for just over a year and recently moved to math after the universities, and amazingly enough, it's strange nights like these where my irate friend is willing to go moon chasing with me that makes this all worth it. So we just ran into the gas station and we came back to the parking lot to go to the apartment, and just thought to look over to see where the moon was at, and it is down probably about 50% of where we originally saw it in the sky, and it's also red orangey color, so that's really interesting. I wonder why it changes color. It's only probably been about 25 minutes since we last looked at it, but also wondered how the orbits or the cycle of the moon was interesting until tomorrow. Moon journal. Today is Thursday, July 14th, and I am doing my moon journal. I was unable to look at the moon during my drive from Boston, but now I've arrived in Worcester outside the apartment. I do see the moon. It is very white, and it is just over, how to say, a half, so looks like it's in the 3/4 range, similar to last night, but the left outermost side is more rounded, so the formation of the circular formation is starting to form. The moon is high in the sky, and you can see a lot of the stars actually in the sky has a dual tonation and color, so from a deep dark, well, not quite deep, but a darker blue, and it fades kind of to lightish purplish pink, but everything is very still. The sky is very clear and open tonight. The moon is very visible. I don't know if it will be visible from the room I am standing in the parking lot of the apartment stand. I don't see a film around the moon like I have over the past 2 days. It's very sharp and clear, very clear image. I'm going to see if I can take a picture of it. But again, I wonder if I can take a picture of it for signs that I may have taken back to the point I remember learning about the moon in either middle or high school, and that's all I can really will comment and journal. Today is Wednesday, July 20th, 9:12 p.m. So I just saw the moon. I'm somewhere between Somerville and Saugus. I just recently, as always, I'm in a different place. I'm looking at the moon from the windshield of my boyfriend's car, and it seems that has like an orangey tint. I wonder if this happens as just a part of the moon's face as it enters the full moon stage, or this is just a random occurrence. I can't believe that I have almost witnessed a full cycle. I think I'm just about halfway through. I wonder if he is going to pick up on the other side. So like I said last night, waiting and waxing, I wonder if it's going to go backwards or forwards in a certain order based on how the moon changes, if that makes it sound like I wonder which side is it going to wax or wane. Said I have not researched anything about the moon, so I'm probably speaking gibberish at the moment, but I look forward to tuning in tomorrow. I want to know how long it will take the full moon phase before it starts to decrease its size again. Well, that's the end of my journal for today, June 20th. Until tomorrow night, goodbye tonight. Today is Thursday, July 21st. I observed the moon today. Interesting enough, a lot more thoughts and questions wander my head as all of the sketches from today's class have caused way to wander a lot more. I have to be more observant of Vegas to the rise and the setting of the moon. I was doing more reflective of life rather than observation. So I learned in class today that I should be a bit more attentive and even consider checking on the moon more than one. I was talking to a friend who knows that I'm doing the mangina, and she texted me. She knows that I've been a magenta, so she texted me and said that I should marry Orange and it'd be great observation for today. But when I look at the moon no more than 45 minutes later, I was like, where did she get orange from? I see a clear white right limb, and she's in Worcester and I am in Somerville, Mass. Just moved into my new apartment soon. I am moon gazing from my apartment today. Look and see at the shade, kind of deeper, fathom or understand myself of what we discussed in class regarding the Earth's shadows mocking the moonlight, causing it to be smaller or larger. Interested to see the transition as the days go on. That's it for tonight. Moon journal. I'm exhausted, had a long day finalizing moving. Talk to you tomorrow. Today is Sunday, July 24th. It is about 10:45 p.m. and I have waited for the moon to come out and walked around the area and I can't seem to find it. Without looking up the answer, I wonder what is the best way for me to learn the schedule through observation. I would probably need more time on my hands, because if I were to look through all my entries, I've noted the time in which I've seen the moon. It would just take me organizing it against the times in which I didn't see the moon. Anyway, hopefully you'll have the energy to stay out later and see the moon. Today is Monday, July 9th. Today is Wednesday, July 27th. It is midnight and yet again another moonless night. So at least I know that the moon isn't rising before midnight. Today is Saturday, July 30th. I came out to watch the moon around 10 p.m. tonight. I'm actually out of town in New York City and I did not seem to see the moon. I wonder when it will reappear. See you tomorrow. August 4th. I have not seen the moon in the past 3 days and I've been up as late as 1:30 a.m. At first I thought it was that the moon is out and just I couldn't see it, or as was my location. After talking to students in class, I realized that I think God am not alone. No one have seen it all week. It could possibly be our location geographically. I wonder if we missed the new moon. Well, I guess we would never know since you technically can't see a new moon. Today is August 5th and still no signs of the moon. Today is August 7th and I can finally see the slither of the moon that I saw when I first started this journal. It is only slightly visible. It's interesting that this is the first time in my life I've observed a full cycle of the moon.
And that concludes my visual arts moon journal. Thank you.